car company does something almost no legacy brand has ever dared to do. They stop making cars. Just stop. Jaguar quietly ends production on most of its models. By mid-2025, European sales are down 97% year over year. 97%. That sounds like death, and in most cases, it would be. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Jaguar didn't collapse. Jaguar paused. They're betting everything on a full reinvention in 2026. New identity, all electric, nearly double the price, a complete reset. So the question isn't whether Jaguar is struggling. The question is this radical gamble genius or the final mistake that kills a 100-year-old icon? Let me show you the 5 forces that brought them here. Let's rewind. A guy named William Lyons borrows £1,000 and starts building motorcycle sidecars in England. Humble beginnings, but within a decade, he's making cars. And by 1935, the name Jaguar appears on a vehicle for the first time. After World War II, the company fully embraces that name, partly to distance itself from the SS initials that had become problematic. Then 1948 hits. The XK120 launches, the fastest production car in the world, 120 miles per hour. Jaguar planned to build a few hundred. They built over 12,000, and then the dominance begins. 5 wins at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the 1950s. Hollywood celebrities driving them. A reputation built on 3 words: grace, space, and pace. If you look at brand prestige alone, the 50s and 60s were Jaguar's peak. They weren't just respected, they were legend. So what the hell happened? Here's the thing about being a premium brand. It sounds glamorous, but it's also fragile. Luxury brands are the first to suffer when economies crack. Inflation, oil crises, currency swings. Jaguar got hit by all of them. Founder William Lyons sells the company to British Motor Corporation, not because he wants to, because inflation and industry pressure are crushing him. By the 1970s, gas prices spike. Economic instability spreads. The British government effectively nationalizes Jaguar to prevent collapse. Let that sink in. A brand that once symbolized British excellence needed a government bailout to survive. And here's the kicker. Jaguar exported heavily to the United States. That made them massively exposed to currency fluctuations. The cars weren't failing. The economics were. Luxury is cyclical. And when you're premium without scale, you're vulnerable. But that's just the beginning. Jaguar built a reputation for speed, for beauty, for elegance. But over time, it also built a reputation for something else. Unreliability. 1980s. The XJ models are plagued with quality issues, bad manufacturing processes, terrible electronics suppliers. When a new CEO tours Jaguar plants in 1990, he reportedly describes them as some of the worst he's ever seen. That kind of damage? It doesn't just disappear. Even decades later, reliability concerns linger in buyers' minds. Fast forward to the electric era. The Jaguar I-Pace launches. It's their big EV play. Then, multiple recalls. Battery overheating risks. Eventually, thousands are bought back. Luxury buyers don't tolerate uncertainty. And Jaguar's reliability doubts never fully went away. You can rebuild a brand, but rebuilding trust? That takes generations. Here's where it gets messy. Jaguar hasn't been truly independent for decades. Ford buys Jaguar for $2.4 billion. Ford acquires Land Rover. Financial crisis hits. Ford sells both brands to Tata Motors for $2.3 billion. Less than Ford paid for Jaguar alone. Then 2013, Jaguar and Land Rover are officially combined into one entity, Jaguar Land Rover. And here's where the problem starts. Land Rover, especially Range Rover, starts crushing it. SUV demand explodes globally. Range Rover thrives. Jaguar does not. Now think about this. When 2 luxury brands sit under the same parent company, and one is clearly outperforming the other, where does the capital go? Where does the marketing budget go? Where does the executive attention go? Range Rover became the star. Jaguar increasingly felt like the afterthought. It's hard to dominate when you're competing internally for resources. For decades, Jaguar struggled to turn consistent profits. So leadership tried something that sounded logical. Increase volume, compete with BMW and Mercedes, offer more accessible models, target broader audiences, chase economies of scale. Under Ford, Jaguar expanded its lineup and aimed to become more mainstream. For a while, sales improved. But here's the brutal truth. Jaguar wasn't BMW. It wasn't Mercedes. It lacked the production scale. It lacked the reliability perception. It lacked the global dealership dominance. As of 2023, BMW and Mercedes were selling roughly 40 times more vehicles in the US than Jaguar. 40 times. Ford reportedly never achieved sustained profitability with the brand. Tata struggled too. At some point, you have to ask the hard question. If every owner fails to scale it profitably, is the strategy fundamentally broken? Which brings us to today. Jaguar has made a decision. They're done competing in the volume luxury segment. They're abandoning the BMW fight entirely. Instead, they're going up. Higher price, lower volume, more exclusive, all electric. They plan to nearly double pricing, target wealthier, younger buyers, position closer to Bentley or Porsche rather than Mercedes. This is an extreme pivot. New branding, redesigned logo, the slogan, "Copy nothing," and perhaps most controversially, a marketing campaign that featured no cars. The public reaction? Brutal. People mocked it, criticized it, called it out of touch. But Jaguar's leadership has been crystal clear. They don't want to be loved by everybody. They only need a small group of high-margin customers. This is high risk, high reward. If it works, Jaguar becomes a profitable niche luxury EV brand. If it fails, Jaguar disappears. So here we are. A brand with over 100 years of history, racing heritage, iconic design, multiple ownership changes, decades of profit struggles, now pausing production entirely to reinvent itself. That's not evolution. That's desperation mixed with ambition. And honestly, I don't know which way this goes. But I do know this. Jaguar cannot survive as a mid-tier luxury competitor. They've tried for 50 years. It hasn't worked. So this may be their last serious attempt to carve out a sustainable place in the market. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think this bold reset is the beginning of a comeback? Or are they alienating the few customers they had left? Have you ever owned a Jaguar? What was your experience like? And where do you see this brand 5 years from now? Drop it in the comments. If you want more deep dives like this, not just car reviews, but the strategy behind the industry, follow this channel. See you in the next one.